evening, everybody. This is John Marola from Keeping It Real Section 5 Football. And as you can see, our table is completely packed today. Before I get to our two special guests, I got to introduce my partners. On my far right, he's been missing in action a little bit, too.
Well, thank you, John. I am back, as you know, and it's great that we have Coach Bates and Augie with, and he would know this. You know the old saying, Johnny, you got faith, family, and football. And I had some family obligations that I had to do.
Yep.
I thought you were stranded on the moon or something, one of the astronauts.
Well, sometimes as we used to tell the kids when I was teaching at East, when I was missing, they always told me I was on a secret mission.
Oh, that's it. There you go.
You can't talk about it. It's on a secret mission.
On my far right, Section 5 Hall of Fame coach from Eastside, Coach Paul Brigani.
Thank you, John.
Thanks for coming back. Appreciate you.
Glad to be back.
And we said last week it wasn't really a dig, but it was more. I don't know if we're going to introduce you as a partner or as a guest because
Paul,
you're here one day, you're gone.
I didn't say that.
I said it.
You see, again, you've heard the old Bo Schembechler,
Yes.
the team.
Yes.
You got to stick together.
There you go.
Just like when guys get injured on a team for a while, they're still on your team.
Yes, sir. And next to him is Section 5 Hall of Fame coach from Fairport High School, Section 5 for baseball and football, Coach Dave Lanning. Coach,
John, good
thank
to see you.
Thank you for being here. And as you can see, our two guests in the middle, and this is a first for us. We have Augie Bates and Danny, his father, Bobby. What am I going, Danny? I was just thinking about him.
We need another chair.
I'll cut it. Augie, you got to be the youngest guest we've had, so that's something that you can look back at when you get a little older. So right now we're going to have Coach Lanning start off and go through some of the games this weekend, and then when we get to the McQuaid game that I was at on Saturday, we'll get in depth in that one a little bit. So take it away, Coach.
All right, John, thanks. First of all, a shout out to a couple of our indie teams who finished the season at 10-0. Two perfect seasons for Bishop Kearney, who had a victory over Cardinal O'Hara out of the Buffalo area this past weekend, and Palmac, who defeated Lions 34-24. And again, both teams, Kearney and Palmac, finished the seasons at 10-0. So congratulations to those programs.
Absolutely.
And their seasons are over as we speak. Now on to sectional play, and let's start right out in the double A's. Two semifinal games last week. The first one, Rush Henrietta and Penfield. Penfield visited Rush Friday night and came away with a 22-13 victory. Now, Penfield's been red hot lately. Rush was the 1 seed going in. Penfield has now won, I think, 5 straight. And they played very well, defended Rush, 5 turnovers for the Penfield defense in the ballgame. 3 interceptions, 2 fumble recoveries. Gave up 2 long runs, and that was about it for Rush, a 90-yarder and a 65-yarder. For Penfield, Brody Joyce came up with 2 interceptions in key spots to stop drives by Henrietta. Zane Kropman, who's had an outstanding year at running back, had a rushing touchdown and gained 124 yards. And quarterback Dom Junta, 10 for 16. And that's throwing the ball quite a bit for Penfield. But they did a nice job in the rain. And it was tough conditions for a while Friday night. 10 for 16 for 117 yards. Also rushed for 72 yards. Ronan Boyle, who was our player of the week a couple of weeks ago, four receptions for 51 yards and 2 sacks. Riley Johnson, their place kicker, continues his outstanding run. He made 3 field goals, and that turned out to be the difference, 9-point victory. And A.J. Theodorakakis, 10 tackles. A.J.'s back playing on the defensive side of the ball and really gives them a boost at that linebacker spot. So a big victory for Rush. They move on, or for Penfield, rather. They move on in the finals. Now they'll play Pittsford, who came away with a victory over McQuaid this past weekend. For Pittsford, Brody Pusateri, their quarterback, 13 for 19 for 166, 2 touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown. Deshaun Preston, 2 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. And Max Ciavari with 14 tackles for Pittsford, an outstanding job on the defensive side. Now, we can get into this game a little bit in depth because we have Coach Bates with us. Tough way to end the season, but congratulations, Coach. Your team showed great resiliency after a rough start, putting together a stretch of 3 wins, and then get all the way to the sectional finals, or semis, rather, against Pittsford. What can you tell us about that ball game?
You know, great game and great football team that Pittsford has. We had played them in week 6 and actually got our first win of the season over them in week 6. Or I'm sorry, in week 7. Very, very physical team, very well coached team, and you know they just it was just a great back and forth ball game the whole game. Both teams were exposing some weaknesses. You know, when it comes down to it, you know you gotta be able to make some plays in some key moments, and not shy of effort from our side of the ball at all.
Yeah.
Thought our kids played really, really well, and just a great effort all the way through. They got the ball back with a few minutes left in the game. We were up 3 and we're up 4, and they were able to put together a drive and score near the end there.
23-20 final. You did have the lead.
We did have the lead.
How much time was left?
3 minutes left.
So a nice drive by them.
I was at that game, and just what Coach just said right now, we were talking a little bit before we got on now, and I said the effort. I don't think you could have got more effort out of your kids than what you. I mean, they were crushed at the end, and unfortunately, it shows you a lot about your team.
Yeah, absolutely. We had a rough start. We started off 0-6, and we were in some uncharted territories that we hadn't been in many years, and the fact that our kids stuck together. I mean, there could have been multiple times throughout our season where it could have splintered, it could have spiraled out of control, and it never happened. There was no finger pointing, there was no blaming players, coaches. None of that was going on. These kids just stuck together. And finally, we found a way. We found a groove that we had to get into. We just had to figure out what was going to work. We threw a lot of different things against the wall. What was going to stick? And started to have some success. Success built some confidence. And these kids just, I firmly believe we had a team that was 0-6, got a couple wins, and they were able to build up the confidence that, hey, we can do this. We can get past everybody.
After, you lose a few. Let's say after the 3rd loss in a row. I mean, there had to be some. How are these kids reacting to it? They haven't been in this situation before.
Right, the first adversity you get.
Frustrated, disappointed, but never like, the season's over, or any of that negative talk. It was just like, hey, let's get this one this week. Let's keep working. I gotta say, practices. That could have been a recipe for disastrous practices, and it wasn't. And I was all the credit to the kids, to the senior leaders, to the group of young men that were there. They just were able to still believe.
And what about from a coaching standpoint? Did you make any changes in how you were running offense, defense?
Absolutely. We got out of our traditional 21 personnel packages where we were, a lot of pro-style football, pretty balanced attack, and we started running the T formation and running the ball exclusively in that situation. And we had a few different plays that we were running off of it, but it was just something that the kids found some success in and believed in it, and we started rolling with it. So yeah, I mean, had we just kept doing what we were doing, it wasn't working. With this group, had it worked with teams before? Yeah, it had. But I learned a long time ago from coaches that when doing an offense, you better cater your offense to the types of kids that you have, not just be stuck in your way of, hey, we've got to run this. that's not what we had. That wasn't working for us. So, a credit to the coaching staff for having the ability to change it and having the confidence to say, all right, let's go with this, because it was a pretty drastic change from what we were used to.
At what point did you decide to make that move?
Week 4 or 5.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We went into the Aquinas game. We had started it a little bit that week. Had a little bit of success with it, but not great success. But had enough that we were like, all right, let's see how this thing rolls. And then we went into first game against UPrep, and I thought we moved the ball great against them in our first game, and then we just rolled with it and won our next one, won our next 2, then got UPrep again in the quarterfinals, and pretty much ran that exclusively the whole game.
Well, it was a great adjustment by you and your coaching staff to make that, those changes, and just to keep the ship steady.
Absolutely.
Especially when you had been dealing with some adversity, a situation that McQuaid football had not been in.
Yeah.
And how the kids stayed focused, stayed to the course and believed. And then, as you said, they built up more and more confidence and continued to play better and better each week.
The kids never gave up. The coaches never gave up. The parents never gave up. Everybody that was involved in our community, they were not selling us off. They were not writing us off. So, it's a good culture when you have that going on.
How about looking ahead? You graduate many seniors?
We have 19 seniors on the team, and we're pretty much around that number every year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, usually we're low 20s, and we got a lot of nice kids coming back. Our JV program was really solid this year, and loved our modified team. So
yeah.
we got a lot of nice kids coming up, and excited about them.
Augie, what'd you think about the season this year?
They definitely fighted forward, and they started out 6-0, and
0-6.
I own 6, and they never gave up, and then they just kept fighting and fighting and fighting, and then they got 3 wins in a row.
That's a good message, huh?
Well, it's great to see Augie here, because I know this young man has held up a lot of sectional championship trophies.
Yes, he
over
is.
the years.
Yeah.
So you've touched a sectional block more than many that have never touched a block.
Yep.
Did you call many of the plays this year, Augie, or did you let your
What's
dad
your
do it?
favorite? What's your favorite play?
I made up this one, Ferrari Rocket.
Ferrari Y Rocket.
Nice. I like the sounds of it.
My dad changed the name to what?
No, we kept it.
No, you changed it.
We changed it this year a little bit. I can't be giving out too many
Don't be
secrets.
giving
No,
we don't
I
want
don't
to.
He can do that. You know why?
All right, Coach Bates, let's put you on the spot now.
Yep.
We've got a sectional final.
Tough questions from you all the time.
Yeah. We got a sectional final 7 o'clock Friday at SUNY Brockport. Penfield and Pittsford both 6-4. You've played them both.
Yeah.
Who do you like?
So we played Penfield early on week 3, and tremendous ground game, and a lot of they're stout up front, and they get things done up front, and they do a great job with it. We didn't see it in our game so much, but sounds like they have a really good kicking game going on. So with special teams, a big factor and everything. I thought Pittsford, when we played them, especially the second time, there was a hunger to them, and it was pretty impressive. So both teams bring a lot to the table. Overtime game, probably going to go double overtime, and whoever can either make the extra point or make the 2-point conversion at the end is going to win the game.
It can't end in a tie.
How about that?
Great answer. You know what I wanted to ask you, Coach, and Coach Lanning and myself were talking about this before the podcast, and we had never seen a double-A season like this, where you had teams that came out of the blocks right away. Fairport would, I don't know if they were 3-0 at one time. Rush, you started out slow. Penfield, and then almost like a complete reversal by the end of the season. And every game in that double-A was, who knows who was going to win.
Right. We were talking about it a lot. I remember early in the season, back in August, what's Double A going to look like? And I remember sitting in the office and people saying, I think anybody could win this classification. And it showed that, because any one of these teams, as we got down towards the end, could have made their run or is making their run. Like you said, Penfield's probably the hottest team right now. Winners of 5, and I think Pittsford's just playing great ball. But it was the parity in Double A was so tiny, and it was everybody was beating up everybody, and I thought even for Class A it was really good. You had your A1, A2, that A1 side was
very competitive, every week.
I mean, we had Webster was a 6 seed, correct?
Right.
Brighton was a 4 seed.
Yeah. Yes.
And so you had that, had that in your final. I thought Irondequoit was just a tremendous team all year.
They had a great season.
We saw them in the summertime, and it was like, whoa, they're a very well-oiled machine, very mature team.
Just like adjustment your coaching staff made, the same thing happened at Irondequoit. When
Absolutely.
they lost a receiver to a transfer.
Yep.
One of their other top receivers, he gets injured, and they had to make some adjustments on some of the things they were doing.
Sure. Yeah, you have to be able to do it.
Yeah.
Well, Penfield's, I think, going for their first sectional championship in school history.
Yeah.
I mean, Pittsford.
They won one when Tags was there.
Tags got one.
Really? In spite of Tag.
We played them one year in the finals.
And you beat them.
We beat them, but I didn't remember them getting back again.
They won. A
Did-
year like this year where they had 2.
Did Rich have them? Did Parinello have them though? At one of those years.
Well, that may be, but I don't remember it.
Yeah, I think it might have been. Rich might have had a team.
That should be an outstanding
It'll
matchup,
be a great game.
and I plan on being there for that one.
I feel like Penfield
Let's move to the A classification. And this week we have a game to determine who will be the A representative in the state tournament. So we've got the A1 winner, Brighton, who is at 7-2 right now, a 30-20 victory over Webster Schrader. And they'll be playing East High, also 7-2, with a 34-7 win over Brockport. I'm not sure where that game's being played.
It's at Rush Henrietta.
Rush Henrietta.
I've looked at it a couple of times, and I've seen different things. So Rush, okay, great. And for Brighton, Matthew Heiniger, who's a UB commit, was the MVP of the ball game. Scored a touchdown. Leo Hopkins, the defensive most valuable player in that game, an interception and a rushing TV. And Brighton, they're rounding into form. Schrader was a pretty good ball club coming in, pretty hot club. Could have hurt you both throwing and running the football, and they did a nice job of defending. For East High, revenge for last year's loss to Brockport in the sectionals. They stormed out to a 28-0 halftime lead. Tay Brown, the MVP for the game, 4 touchdowns, 3 rushing and 1 passing TD. The East defense forced 5 turnovers, and they've allowed only 13 points in their 3 sectional games. So it's going to be tough to beat them if that's the way they're playing defense. The Taylor brothers, Legacy with a touchdown reception, and Legend, 2 interceptions for East. So East Brighton in the A finals to determine who goes on to state play.
Now, to go back on that a little bit, I was up there Friday night for both games, and Coach, our Section 5 chairman, I was kind of chumming around with him, and Brighton and East are playing Friday night, 6 p.m. at Brockport State.
Oh, is that Brockport?
Okay.
Is that Rush? Rush, that's what I thought. That's how we're going.
Pittsford and Penfield are playing Saturday night, 7 p.m.
7 o'clock.
Right.
And I was there for the East game. East, they're solid. They got better. As the year went on, they got a lot better.
Well, they ended up with Brown, the one that got the outstanding player. He was a receiver to start the year. The quarterback got hurt. They moved him to the quarterback position, and he runs that wildcat.
Yes.
So, and he's a very good athlete. Yes. Along with they had the legacies that were good runners. So now you have that combination. But to your point, Dave, about them defensively, and I've said this a couple weeks ago, I thought they were probably the second best team in the area, where we saw them play Monroe, and they held Monroe to 16 points. And Monroe had been scoring a lot. And so defensively, they're very, very solid, and now their offense has picked up.
One thing, though, with Brighton, been there and done it. I mean, they got, and I've said it before, they have a swag, if you want to call it that, confidence. I wouldn't go as far as cocky. I don't see any of that. They are very mentally and physically focused right now on the job at hand. Most of them been there last year, so they know what it's all about. It's not a new rodeo. It's not a road. They know what's
Well, I
going on.
think Coach Liam and his staff do a good job of keeping them on task
Yes.
Absolutely.
and not letting them worry about what's down the road. Take care of business right now.
I got to tell you one thing before we move on for the Brighton game. So I'm watching, and I notice when Brighton has the ball, their sideline is dead quiet. When Brockport had the ball, they were up cheering and yelling. Their spectators were up cheering. And the Brockport kids, it was like a college game. It was hard for the
Yeah, I think
Brockport kid to
here's
hear the plays from the sideline. I remember a couple of times he ran off the field and he was trying to get things. I mean, you talk about everybody on the same page.
Yeah, that can be a factor. I know years ago when I was at Fairport, our fans would do that, and our sideline would do that, and it paid off for us.
Sure.
I mean, you talk about everybody on the same page. You're talking about the community now and everything. That's the first time I've seen that in a long, long time, and very impressive.
that's all in.
It is all in.
Yeah.
That's a great way to say it.
Coach Leon's done a really great job with that whole program, and we were talking when we played them around week 3 this year. We talked a lot about sustained success. How do you do that in a program, and how do you maintain that culture and from year in, year out? And it's tough. It's probably one of the toughest things to do in sports as a coach, as a leader, to keep that hunger alive. And they're doing a great job with it. They're a good team. They're big.
Yeah.
They're fast.
For my money, it's harder to do that, to stay there, than it is to get there.
Sure.
Right.
Because
Sure.
there is that hunger to get there, but now it's
And when
a
you
whole
get there,
different-
the bullseye's on your back. Everybody's coming after you. But they've done a really good job. And that Heidegger kid's he's a stud.
The
He's a
linebacker,
stud.
yes, he's up there. Nobody's blocking him.
Well, Coach Liam has said he's maybe the best player he's ever had. So that's quite a tribute. Let's move to the Class Bs. And we've got Honey Eye Falls Lima coming off a victory in their semis, 43-14 win. They go to 5-5. Brian Finn, 184 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns for Honey Eye Falls Lima. And Marco Vincachera, 2 rushing
Nice
touchdowns and an interception. Now they play Monroe, who would have to be the prohibitive favorite right now based on their season and their past couple of years. Monroe comes in at 8-0. They've had 2 weeks off. And whether that helps or hurts, hard to tell. I don't know if any injuries, have a chance to heal up, but
That should be 3 weeks before they play a game.
and they play on the 15th at 3 o'clock at Rush Henrietta Saturday. So Honey Eye Falls Lima will have their work cut out, but they're coming off a big win over Batavia.
And what was interesting in their first matchup, and that was the only time that Monroe was down. They were down at halftime against Honey Eye Falls.
Right.
I think 7-6, and then had a big second half.
We got a switcheroo going on here.
Oh,
You want this?
What happened? You all right?
He's like, these old guys are getting boring.
Now you may notice here that Augie has the Buffalo Bills football out here. You okay after their loss this past weekend?
I'm confident with them.
Okay.
confident.
Do you think they can beat the Jets?
Yes.
Okay, that's all I wanted to know. Let's move on to Class C. And Alexander Pembroke, 9-0, the number 1 seed, 28-9 victory for them over Leroy Calmum. They'll play Letchworth Warsaw Perry, a 14-0 victory over ER Gananda, shutout of ER. And Letchworth comes in at 8-2. For Alexander Pembroke, Pierce Dinkins continues his outstanding year, 116 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns. It's their 3rd consecutive shutout. Ryder Reichard, 143 yards and a touchdown. Jacob Johnson, 8 tackles. Alexander would seem to be the favorite going in at 9-0, but Letchworth no slouch at 8-2. Jake McIntyre and Maddox Kelly each had a rushing touchdown for Letchworth, and Brendan Merritt 8 tackles. Don't know a whole lot about Letchworth, but they're in the finals at 8-2, so that'll be an interesting matchup. They'll play at noon on Saturday at Rush Henrietta.
Yep.
And finally, in the Class Ds, we have an upset. Notre Dame Batavia, Byron Virgin beat the 1 seed York Pavilion 19-14.
Wow.
At Notre Dame Batavia goes to 5-5 on the year. And in the second matchup in the Class D's, Avon, the 2 seed over Canisteo Greenwood at 28-9. Avon goes to 8-2 on the year. For Notre Dame Batavia, 4th down touchdown pass as time ran out. 11 seconds left. Chase Antonori to Finn Davies to complete that upset victory. Antonori also 2 touchdown passes. 14 for 26 for 146 yards, rushed for 158, and a TD, had 5 tackles and an interception.
Wow.
So Chase Antonori, a big game for them. Parker Moore, 6 tackles. For Avon, a name we've heard all year, Calvin Dogus, 135 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns on the ground, and a 41-yard touchdown pass as well for Dogus. Eli Rex, 97-yard kickoff return for Avon. Avon's 8-2 against Notre Dame Batavia, 5-5 in the D's. Again, 7 o'clock on Friday at SUNY Brockport for that one. Those are our matchups going into the finals.
The other night when I was up at Brockport State talking to Tyler and his guys, the Section 5 guys, they were very impressed this year with Notre Dame and Batavia. Yep. Just they're very senior, a lot of seniors on their team, a lot of 3-year starters on Notre Dame and Batavia. So talking to them a little bit about the season, they're like I said, they're really high on Notre Dame and Batavia this year. You might jinx them right now, but
well, it was a good victory for them.
You know what? As I'm sitting here and you're talking about these games, and I'm thinking about past years and stuff like that, and sitting around a lot of great coaches here who have had a lot of success. One of the greatest things about making a sectional run and getting to that sectional final game and hopefully winning and going on to another week into the States, it's the fact that you get to be with your kids for another week. Mm-hmm. You get to be around your guys for another week. You bought yourself another week of football, right. And that is just, winning. It's amazing and it's great, and it doesn't happen all the time, and it's very hard to get back there. It's very hard to win those things, but being with your kids and being with your program and being around the parents and the energy of the community, it's just great. And there's something really to be said about that, and what it does for a young person playing the game of football, or any sport for that matter.
And it's a different feel this time of year, too.
It is.
Just one of the greatest memories I have of coaching was way back 1997. We practiced on Thanksgiving morning, getting ready for the state finals. Now, it's like, this is just cool. We drove up, took the buses up to the U of R because they had the turf.
Yep.
We're going to be playing on turf at the Dome. And with just a whole different feeling about it.
It really
was
is.
Snow on the ground, and it's just something. If I talk to guys now, almost 30 years later,
yep,
they remember that.
Absolutely.
You both bring up real highlights, and I want to just take a look at it. Sometimes from the other side, that when you lose, the kids are turning the equipment in. They'll never have that same team back together. Some never play college football or ever play football. Most will never. That was the last time they'll put equipment on, and it's a shock for some of them that we're not going to practice on Monday. We're not, that they have to, that's a whole different adjustment too for a lot of them. And you have the way that's the way the scale goes.
Yep. It comes to an abrupt halt.
Yes,
right?
it does.
It's all over.
And I remember bus rides home at the end of the year after you lose that last game, and I'm just telling myself this is the last time that we're all going to be together.
Right?
Because even at the banquet you have at the end of the year, some kids have to miss if they're working or whatever, or playing another sport, and it's just you're right. The abrupt. It's done. It's over.
Yep.
And it takes a little while to get used to. I mean, to wipe it off of you.
No doubt about it. But for the teams that are still in it, good.
Congratulations.
Good luck, and enjoy this week of practice. Enjoy being with your team and around your buddies and your brothers, and it's fun. It's a great opportunity.
You remember, right now there's only 10 teams total in Section 5 that are practicing this week.
Right.
Yep. Exactly.
So it's dwindling down. It's dwindling down. Next week there's only going to be 5 teams playing.
Right.
First round of states, and just like you just said, just enjoy your kids, enjoy the parents, enjoy the people that are around your program that helps your program out and does things, and because it's going to stop. But then, fortunately for us, it'll start back up again.
No doubt.
So.
Now, Augie, you're going to be a senior in high school, is that right?
What grade are you in?
Oh, first grade, okay.
First grade. Kind of tall for first grade.
Yeah.
That's what everyone says.
Oh, well, everyone must be right then. Did you enjoy this?
Did you have fun?
Did you have fun?
I'm having actually a lot of fun.
You're having a lot of fun.
Oh, good.
That's good. Maybe next year you can be on the regular panel here.
Well, how about that?
Coach Brigandy's not always here.
Yeah.
so
You take my place,
There
right?
you go. Augie, who knows? In a couple of years, we might have you you could fill in for when Coach Brigandy's gone. You've seen a lot of football in your early years.
Haven't you?
You
This
bet.
guy right here.
This guy, that guy. You like that though, don't you?
Yeah, I love that my dad.
Oh, that's great. You know what? I got a feeling. I think you're going to be a coach when you get older.
He's
You
all
might
right.
be. You might be.
Going to be a player first.
Gotta make sure you don't lose it.
Uh-huh.
Right.
Temper because the boys.
Trying to teach those young men, right?
Yeah.
Trying to teach them.
Wow. He's got a lot inside him already.
No doubt.
That's
And-
great though.
And I just want to say, just on this day, we're here on Tuesday. We're off from school, but a special thanks to all of our veterans who protect us and take care of us and give us the opportunity to play this great game of football, but to have the freedoms that we have. Just a special thank you to all of our veterans.
Yes, thank you very much. We really appreciate that. Before we get off air right now, I got to go over real quick. I should have done this earlier, but I always forget. Is our sponsors. Our sponsors are growing little by little. Our views we have over 15,000 views.
That's great.
So that's great. Just subscribe. So if you're watching us, just hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and if you have any comments, I swear I read all the comments. And 99.9 of them are all positives. I've had a couple in there that were not, but I enjoy them all. I really do. And I pass them on to these guys. And
I apologize, John, if I've offended anyone.
I think you're good.
I have a couple announcements.
Is there a big announcement?
No, not that. But I do think that
You've been gone a lot.
Well,
you've been
sometimes
gone,
I've been
Paul.
working behind the scenes on things. So let me start out with, and I know Coach Bates would remember. We had a passing of a Section 5 head football coach, Jim Burns, who was at Edison Tech.
Yep.
He took over after when Mike Nally retired, and Jimmy Burns passed away. He was 63 years old, and for us that coached against him and knew him, what a special guy he was, and we wanted to recognize that.
Great guy.
A great guy, and in fact, his sister married Mike Nally.
Yep.
Yeah.
So a lot of family.
And Mike's son Sean, who played for us.
Yep.
He works at McQuaid now, and he's the assistant athletic director, or middle school athletic director.
Nice.
He does a phenomenal job. He's a great kid.
Yeah.
And
He was up there Saturday.
Oh yeah.
I see.
Oh,
them.
yeah.
And the other announcement, and this happens.
Is this a
every-
drum roll?
Well, it's just passing out information for those who may want to pursue these things. Coach Shea has stepped down at Greece Arcadia.
Oh, yeah.
And basically they will have a whole new coaching staff change there. Mm-hmm. And each year we probably have 4 to 5 new head coaches, and this is the first one that we've heard of, but we will announce them as those things are out there. And you see this as sometimes a great assistants that will leave a place to pursue an opportunity. So, but that's the first one that is out there.
So anybody out there that's watching, if you watching and you've been an assistant coach, maybe you're thinking
inquire about that.
Maybe this is the time that you step up to the next.
And I did get a text from Wade Bianco today. With the National Football Foundation, they said this year's banquet that will be in December will break a record for the biggest prepaid attendance.
Is that the one we're invited to?
Yes, that's in December, and that's the one that Dave Neiman will receive the Coaches Award.
Oh, that's
at
awesome.
That one, and that is really, as I've said, the biggest Section 5 football dinner, bigger than even the Section 5 Hall of Fame dinner. So those couple things that wanted to make sure that people knew.
It's a fantastic foundation.
Yes, it is.
We've participated in every year. I always send a couple kids there, and it's something special for kids to get recognized by that.
Now, one other thing that keeps on popping in my mind here is, like I said, I did spend some time with our Section 5 chairman, Tyler Winter, up at Brockport State, and we were, just talking about things, and he's got some ideals, and everything's in the early stage right now. We're just getting done with football, but he is definitely. He wants to make a mark. He wants to. The number one thing he said is, when the time comes that I'm going to leave or whatever, go on, I want to make sure that this is better than when I stepped into.
Sure.
So he's very positive. If you get a chance and say hello to him, any coaches out there, great guy. Just, his ears are always open, and let's see where we can make this, a little more special than it already is. It's
No doubt about it.
For the kids.
Eddie Meath All-Star game coming up.
Yeah. What's the? Do we know the date of that?
I can tell you.
November.
It's usually before
Monday of
Thanksgiving week.
Yes.
That might be wrong. I have it. November 24th. It'll be at the U of R at 6 p.m., I believe. So
if it's not snowing, I might be there.
Do you know who's coaching in that game yet?
I do not know.
Okay.
I do not know.
Have you ever coached in that?
A long time ago. Yeah.
Really?
Coach Urban.
Oh boy.
Yeah, Coach Urban got me on there. Coach Molinich got me on there.
Okay.
A lot of fun. That was, but that's when they still held it in the summer.
Yeah, I know.
And when we did it, but that was a great week. Yes, playing football was great, but what we did with the hospital and going to see the kids, that was just
Timmy Hill organized.
Timmy Hill did the whole deal.
Yeah.
It was. That's a really special week. So if you get a chance to be a part of it, kids, players, if you get nominated for that, be a part of that.
Now you mentioned Coach Urban. Is Coach Urban going to be the new head flag football coach at Aquinas?
Yep.
Hope I'm not breaking any news here.
No.
No, because it got sent out last week. Yes,
right. And because he was part of that Webster Schrader state championship.
Yes,
and,
he was.
It was great to see. But he's on your staff.
Yep. Coach Urban's phenomenal. He's awesome, and he does a great job. And he's excited. He's excited about taking that program
great,
over.
Great, he'll do a great job.
And he's what?
He's very funny.
Oh yeah, he's
Very funny. And maybe a little shout out to your assistants. You guys do such a great job. I really, I know you. I know your brother was way back. But just being around your assistant coaches, even your kids, I don't feel like I'm like an outsider.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Not at all.
And it's a good feeling. And Paul and I, when we put this together, that was one of the things that we said were like a plus is meeting new coaches.
Yeah.
you know, and just saying hi to them and seeing the next generation of coaches, you know, because, you know, what I'm thinking is, I know we got to get out of here, but when it's time for us maybe to step down, maybe you can step in and
all right.
take this over.
I got a face for radio.
We all do.
Excuse me?
Oh, I forgot. I'm sorry. Jesus.
You woke up?
You woke up?
My heavens.
I know. You've been kind of quiet over there.
Well, we got 25 guys at the table today.
Last week, it was just you and I. Last couple of weeks, we were lonely sitting on opposite sides of the
That's
table.
all right.
Well,
Okay.
thank you.
Augie, we're just about done. We got to do one more thing, okay? On the count of three.
You got this. You got this.
We're going to go 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to go Keeping It Real, Section 5 football.
Can you do it?
You ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Keeping it real, Section 5 football.
Good night, everybody.
One in a million, super rich. with it. Suddenly, a part of me just wants to go back to how it used to be. Suddenly, a part of me just wants to go back to how it used to be.